And so off the tip, it'll be the Heat. Here's Ware, and he makes no mistake. Slam dunk.
Did you guys see that? What an insane slam.
Man, you got to have some hang time to pull that off. Now a timeout called by San Antonio. Grant, when you take a look at this matchup, both these teams feature an impressive backcourt.
No question, B.A. And I get the sense that bragging rights are on the line here. Everything you can do, I can do better. Expect some exciting back-and-forth action in this one.
Now here's Fox. Here's Wembanyama. The rebound by Ware. Now here's Mitchell. Knocks it loose. It's stolen by Fox. He goes up, and it's Fox with the jam.
And once Fox collects the steal, he's locked in on scoring. And with that trademark speed, he's going to make something happen.
Now here's Mitchell. Wiggins for three. Victor Wembanyama grabs the board. And Fox has got the ball here for the San Antonio Spurs. Pass to Fleming. Puts up a three. He drops it from range.
And that's what they want to do. Get him open looks early.
Here's Mitchell. Hero outside. Blocked! Left side, Wembanyama. Pass to Fleming. All alone. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. And here's Miami. It's a three-point game. And your first NBA coaching job was with the Miami Heat stand. I was as an assistant back in the 90s, just a few years ago.
Yeah, just a few, Brian. And the Heat have changed a lot. The game has changed a lot over those years. Look, back then, the Heat were probably the most physical team in the NBA, and it was just knockdown, drag-out fights all the time.
And you see how fluid Wembanyama is. 7'5" guys shouldn't be able to move like this.
Now here's Mitchell. To the inside. And so he draws the foul, headed to the line to shoot a pair.
Yeah, you never want to let shots at the rim go uncontested.
Stan, one of the most impressive streaks in sports history, the San Antonio Spurs, one of the smallest markets in the NBA, making 22 consecutive playoffs.
Yeah, and Brian, there's nothing that I respect more than consistent success year after year. I think it's harder than having that one great year. What San Antonio did in those years is incredible.
And they had a great sideline reporter out here, too.
Good-looking guy.
The shot by Wembanyama, no good. To the right side. First quarter of play, and we're about 3 minutes in. That puts him in the lead.
Well, Bam at 6'9" might be undersized at his position, but he plays with such incredible intensity.
Now here's Fox. An important role in this offense, averaging around 12.5 per game. No good. Excellent D there from Wiggins. And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
Earlier, I spoke with the Spurs head coach. I asked him outright if he had a plan for Tyler Hero. Coach let me in on their strategy, saying, quote, "We just have to cause problems for him on defense, hand in the face, crowd him, anything to discourage him from taking shots. So he hopes they can keep Tyler quiet by hassling him all night long." Back to you.
Thank you for that, Allie. Here's Wembanyama. Shot clock at 5. Fox with the ball. Guarded by Adebayo. San Antonio again can't hit.
And he probably thought he was going to bury that one.
Pass to Mitchell. The Heat need to get one up in a hurry. And De'Aaron Fox picks up the foul. That's his first foul. And Erik Spoelstra decides to call timeout. And we might see some changes. Coach potentially looking to adjust.
Let's give it up for your Spurs Hype Squad. Once again, let's give a big hand to your sensational Spurs dance team.
Adebayo with it. A steady force on their offense. Recording around 14.5 a game. And play stops. A whistle there on what looks like an illegal screen.
Well, the league has put an emphasis to crack down on illegal screens.
Yeah, and yet we still see it a lot. It's a tough thing to police.
Now here's Fox. To end the cold spell. And Fox powers it home.
Explosive speed gives Fox the clear advantage on the drive. He gets down the lane so fast.
Grant, when you talk about De'Aaron Fox, what an exciting player.
That he is, and just now entering the prime years of his career. We've seen him make great strides the last few years, and it's scary trying to think just how much he can still improve.
San Antonio leading. Pass to Castle. Fires the 3. Here's Wembanyama. The rebound by Ware.
Well, you can tell he's forcing things a bit at the moment. He's been trying to get it going, but this hasn't been his quarter.
And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws. At 6'9", Bam Adebayo is on the shorter side of centers. Yet he is elite defensively, Grant.
He's been top 5 in Defensive Player of the Year voting a bunch of times. Bam has an incredible motor, a great IQ, and he's a switchable big. That's huge in today's game.
And here's Bryant outside. They get it back. Tipped away. Stolen by Mitchell. Pass to Ware. That one's good. Mitchell making the play. Ware's got 5 now.
Yeah, so skilled offensively. Getting the ball in his hands is generally a good idea.
Time called here. San Antonio decides to talk it over. A minute 22 left in the first quarter here. Out to the wing. Beyond the arc. Fleming, no good. Heat leading by 3. And here's Rozier. He's averaging about 6 points per game. Pass to Anderson. Wiggins outside. 5 on the clock. Can't get it to drop. Good work defensively by Lopez. Here's Harper. And here's Fox. Hounded by Rozier. Back to Fox. There's the triple. Miami grabs the miss.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to shoot his way out of this one or not.
Pass to Rozier. Back to Anderson. Wiggins outside. Tipped. And they'll keep possession. Now Fox. To the left side wing. It'll count. Oh, and he just knocked down the buzzer beater. What a huge...
shot to beat the buzzer. My goodness.
Oh, man, that's like stealing 3-point. Big time finish to the quarter.
Tie game in San Antonio. And some good action in the books as we get back to a game that's been pretty close so far here. All right, guys, what's your take on the Spurs so far?
Well, what I love is the tremendous belief in their bench. They were looking for points, and their reserves delivered.
Yeah, they really trust their depth. They have no problem relying on their bench in crucial situations.
All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Hey, Brian. Devin Vassell is progressing offensively. He said, I feel like the game has slowed down, just making the right reads. I know I can get to my spots. I just want to show that I'm an efficient scorer and a willing passer. I'm trying to be the best player that I can be.
Yeah, love that work ethic, Allie. Thanks. Pass to Lopez. Here's Harper, hounded by Rozier. Out to the right wing. Here's Harper. As far as his production, he's averaging about 8 points per game. No good that time. Stan, it feels like the hardest part of team building is getting a superstar. The Spurs have one.
Well, they sure do, B.A. San Antonio was retooling for a few years, and then they won that 2023 lottery and draft Victor Wembanyama, a superstar, and now it's about surrounding him with the right guys.
Back to Lopez. On the wing, Vassell. Pass to Fleming. San Antonio again can't hit.
I mean, he's trying to shoot his way out of what's becoming a prolonged cold streak.
Yeah, I get it, but you don't want him forcing things. It's better to get your shots within the flow of the offense.
Down low. Here's Anderson. And it's out of bounds. To the Heat as Miami retains possession.
Into the Heat, number 24, Haywood Highsmith.
Just 5 to shoot. Outside, Anderson. Pass to Wiggins. Shoots over Vassell. And it comes off the front of the rim. San Antonio trailing here. Here's Harper. Castle for 3. Drops in the 3. And the lead just keeps changing hands.
5 times already, and we still haven't gotten out of the first half.
Rozier looking around. Pass to Jovic. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Jovic has got his first points of the night.
Good execution. They're getting some short-range looks here.
Here's Harper. Up top, Lopez. Anderson pulls it down.
This has been a close game in a lot of ways, but they do have an edge on the boards.
Now here's Rozier. No points yet. Jovic buries it from three. Now it's a 4-point Miami lead.
Well, so many bigs excel from three-point range these days, and he's right up there with the best of them.
Timeout called, the Spurs. And the players take this opportunity to get some Gatorade. Getting some fluids in you is so important during these timeouts. Get fresh, keep those batteries charged.
Yeah, without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a ball game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have to be hydrated.
The Heat making a change here. Well, Grant, we know non-shooting big men can clog the paint, but if they know where to move off the ball, that certainly helps.
Yeah, you know, big men who know those circle actions, like flashing to the open spot when their man gives help, they often end up with easy looks inside.
Now here's Wembanyama. You know, his stats have been solid, averaging around 18.5 points a game. Nice move. And Harper gets it to go. Harper's got 5 now.
What a smart pass from Wembanyama. Already adept at scanning the floor and finding open teammates.
Here's Rozier. No made baskets yet. Pass to Ware. Oh, it's blocked by Wembanyama.
With his length and energy, Wembanyama has the ability to be a game-changing defender.
Now Vassell. There's the 3. The rebound by Ware. Rozier with it. Hero outside. They set a pick. Pass to Jovic. It's stolen by Barnes. In transition, here they come. Harper misses. The Heat with the lead. And here we go, the Heat fast break. Now here's Hero. Rozier outside. To the paint. Here's Jovic. Comes up empty down low. Pass to Wembanyama. Wembanyama hammers it down.
Well, Victor doesn't have too far to go. I mean, he just pops up to the rim, makes it look so easy.
And Erik Spoelstra decides to call timeout. We might see him looking to make some tweaks to the strategy here. Both teams will make substitutions.
Substitution on the court.
1:53 left in the second. And the Heat unveiling the statue of Dwayne Wade, Stan, the face of the franchise forever.
Yeah, Brian, you think of what he meant to this organization, propelling it to its very first championship and then attracting other stars to Miami. He is truly the foundation.
Now here's Wiggins. Inside. Outside Mitchell. To the middle. Here's Adebayo.
Oh, my. So much force in Bam's game right there.
And here's Fox. Fox on the run. And it's Fox with the jam.
What? Wait. Hey, dunks are always for the big boys.
Emphatic move by the point guard.
Well, in this league, you can see powerful plays from anyone and anywhere. Your position no longer dictates your scoring options.
If that's on the defense there. Now, you can't let Wiggins get this kind of positioning inside.
Fox outside. Here's Franklin. Deflects the pass. Oh, it's stolen by Mitchell. 8-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Where? That's good. Now it's a 4-point Heat lead.
Incredible. I mean, high energy in transition. Just beating the defense up the floor.
Yeah, the commitment to run is paying great dividends on the break.
Now here's Fox. He's got 6. Shot clock at 6. Right side, Wembanyama. Got it off in time to beat the shot clock, but it's no good. And the first half comes to an end. We've got a close game going here. Miami out in front, up by 4. And time now for the halftime break, with the third quarter soon to follow on 2K Sports. And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard. Spurs trail by 4. Fox up top. Wembanyama's got space. Yes! And a nice assist from Fox. Wembanyama's gotten his third basket of the night. Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Here's a great quote from Coach Erik Spoelstra, who said, "The Miami Heat culture is a system based on discipline and hard work. We stand for something. That's competition. That's winning. We feel that there's a championship DNA that you can develop." And Brian, they walk the walk.
One of the great organizations in the league, Allie. Now Fox. He has 6. Pass to Wembanyama. And there's a whistle. He'll head to the line to shoot 2. Coach, when you watch Wemby, it's not the height that jumps out. It's the way he moves with that height.
Brian, I've been around the NBA a long time, and you think you've seen it all. But when you see someone with Wembanyama's size and the things he can do, his ball handling, his shooting range, the way he moves, blocking shots, this guy is one of a kind.
Feels like he's emerging as the face of the NBA soon.
I think that's what we all expect.
Now here's Hero. A key piece to their offense, putting up 12 points a game. Hero on the wing. Shot clock at 2. Over Kessel. Hero, no good. After having trailed for a while, they could retake the lead.
Nice effort to battle back and put themselves in this position.
Here's Fox. Pass to Fleming for the lead. Rebound by the Heat.
And he almost made them regret defending him so loosely.
And Bryant pulls it down.
Well, halftime is supposed to be for adjustments. I'm sure this isn't what they had in mind.
Here's Fox. 6 points for him. And he's going to the line for 2. The official saw contact while he was going up.
And looking at Fox, a microwave scorer and Tasmanian devil running up and down the floor. A fun player to watch.
All right, Stan, as you look around the league, who stands out as the best perimeter defender right now?
There's so many good ones. OG Anunoby might be the most versatile. Drew Holiday, Derek White, KCP. Don't forget about guys like Aaron Gordon and Herb Jones, also outstanding.
And Eric Spoelstra decides to call timeout. He'll take the opportunity to regroup. And now around 2 minutes gone by in this half. Now here's Hero. Outside Jaquez. Rozier outside. Pass to Adebayo. It's Jaquez on the wing. Love for three. Sinks it from distance. Love's gotten himself on the board with a three there.
Yeah, well, over his last few years, Love has taken way more threes than twos. He's quite comfortable from that.
Well, Coach, the Heat have had some deep playoff runs recently, making the finals twice in 5 years.
Yeah, Brian, and what's really interesting is that they've only been higher than a 5 seed once in that span. They just hit a different gear in the playoffs.
And so he makes both from the line. All right, Stan, what's your take on this very youthful San Antonio Spurs roster?
Well, Brian, they've got the guy to build around. They're very exciting to watch. They've been gaining momentum. They're coming together as a unit, as a roster. And look, this team's got a chance to be very good together.
Here's Jaquez. No good on the three.
This is not how they wanted to start the second half. Just 1 of 5 so far.
That one's good for 2.
There's some contact there, but Fox just refuses to let that hold him back.
Now here's Rozier. Hasn't gotten one to fall yet. Outside Jaquez. Fires for 3. Rebound by San Antonio. Fox with the ball. 11 points in the game. And here's Bryant outside. Pure from three-point range. Now it's a 5-point Spurs lead.
Maybe they expended too much energy in the first half. They just look tired here on the defensive end.
Hero outside. Pass to Adebayo. Oh, and he blocks it off the glass. Wow.
Just an effective shot blocker. Lopez using all of that 7 feet, and he does a great job of picking his spots.
Well, he's been very reliable tonight. Not wasting any chances, really using his head.
Now here's Rozier. Hero with it. Over Kessel. And yes, it goes. Got a little English on that one. Hero's got 5 now.
Yeah, just a flick of a wrist. Tyler Hero with the scorer's mindset.
Pass to Lopez. Kicks it out to Bryant. Three-pointer. And Hero grabs the board. Heat trail by 5. Boy, they'd love if anyone could get a bucket.
Yeah, their offense has been grinding to a halt.
Back to Rozier. To the inside. Back come the Spurs in transition. Here's Fleming. And Adebayo over to help. And here's Fox. 13 points in the game. Denied by Adebayo.
Well, you have to love Bam's mentality. Always looking for ways to disrupt things defensively.
Right side Love. The rebound by the Spurs. And it's the Spurs ball. They're on a 14-5 run. Pass to Lopez. Back to Fox. 1:21 left in the third. Oh, he powers right through the defender for the dunk. Draws the foul, too. And he'll go to the line. It's going to go on Jaime Jaquez. All right, guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Spurs.
Well, they're shot blocking. The defensive effort level has been great. You got to love that intensity.
And you got to respect their energy level. A lot of steals, staying active and making things happen.
Pass to Jovic. Here's Highsmith. 6 to shoot. Down low. Jovic's shot is off. And here's Fox. He'll bring it up for the Spurs. Since halftime, they've only allowed 5 points. And here's Lopez. Back to Fox. Right wing. Here's Fleming. Nails it from beyond the arc. Fleming's got 6.
And for the defense, that is a heart-sinking moment when you see him that wide open from beyond the arc.
Driving to the basket.
Oh, wait. Big finish. Big time. And, man, did they need that.
You can tell he's trying to get him going with that dunk.
Yeah, he saw the opportunity to finish with some authority, trying to fire his guys up.
Fox outside. Here's Lopez. And so it's San Antonio. They have a nice 9-point cushion at the end of the quarter. The flow of the game has favored them in general. But hey, the tide can shift. We're coming right back. Don't go anywhere. Fourth quarter action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. Heat trailed by 9. Rozier outside. Pass to Highsmith. Takes it inside. Rejected by Lopez. Here's Harper. Now here's Lopez. Can't hit that one.
Sometimes it's just not your night. Fortunately, his teammates have picked up the slack.
Rozier, a good look. Harper pulls it in.
All alone from mid-range. You gotta think he's kicking himself.
Lopez, the screen. And Harper gets it to go. And the Spurs lead by 11.
And this is what you want to do when you've got a big lead. Must stay aggressive.
Yeah, they're being absolutely relentless, building this lead in every way possible.
Now here's Rozier. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Stolen by Vassell. On the break. Here's Barnes. Uses the glass on the layup.
And after a sketchy first half, they're now looking much more comfortable on the offensive end.
Pass to Rozier. Here's Highsmith. There's a screen. And there's a whistle. That goes on Devin Vassell. That's his first foul of the game.
First team foul.
And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth here.
Number 14, Tyler Hero.
To the paint. Here's Anderson. Nails the baby hook.
Assist.
Anderson's got his first 2 points of the night.
Well, as a scorer, that's where Anderson likes to operate. He has a lot of tricks in there.
And so it's going to be a 3-second violation there on the defense. Now that we have a few years of reference, it's safe to say the NBA play-in tournament has been a roaring success, Grant.
Yeah, I agree, B.A. And people forget it was created in the peak of the pandemic. The league set up a lifeline for teams that lost key players to COVID, but it has turned into something much, much greater.
Here's Harper. Lopez, the screen. Harper misses. Heat trailed by 12. Rozier outside. Pass to Anderson. Kicks it to Hero. Clock at 6. Can't connect from short range.
Oh, this is exactly the kind of opportunity you don't want to waste.
Left side Barnes. Lets the three fly. Anderson pulls it down.
Finding space on the perimeter, but he couldn't capitalize.
Here's Jovic. The layup misses. San Antonio leading by 12. Here's Harper. Got it. Good job in the low post. Harper's got 5 points now this quarter.
Like a matador. Olay! There was no defense. That has to be one of the easier shots I've seen tonight.
An unorganized defense like that is not going to help them close this deficit.
Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Pass to Lopez. Here's Harper, pounded by Rozier. The three from Barnes. Nails it from 3. And the Spurs lead by 17.
The defense was just nowhere to be found, and because of that, he adds to their lead.
Yeah, look, the truth is, he doesn't need much space anyway. But that one was too easy.
And Erik Spoelstra decides to call timeout. Coach clearly has something he wants to say to his team right now. So both teams changing it up here. And it's Jaquez with the ball for the Miami Heat. Trailing by 17. Wiggins outside. They set the pick. 6 on the shot clock. To stop the drought. And again, no good by Miami.
Thin margin of error right there. You have to work for a better shot.
And count that. 2 points and a chance for one more at the line.
Yeah, Wembanyama fights for his bucket, using his size to get it done despite the foul. And they've been so much more aggressive drawing the whistle here in the second half.
Heat trailed by 20. Now Mitchell. It's Wiggins on the wing. Oh, it's stolen by Mitchell. Well, Grant, it appears that league expansion is around the corner. Any concerns about spreading the talent too thin?
Not really, B.A. I mean, the global pool of players competing for an NBA roster spot has never been deeper. So there's plenty of talent to go around.
And Love is a high percentage shooter in the paint.
Fox outside. To the wing, right side. Fleming. Money from the wing. And the Spurs lead by 20.
Gotta love how they've just maintained their intensity, even when they're this far up.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, just protect the ball, make smart decisions, don't give them a chance to get back in the game.
Love, that's good.
Excellent movement on the play, the pass on time and on point. And they were really able to find the mismatches they wanted and exploit those all night. great execution from the players and coaching staff for the Spurs.
And at first glance, it appeared to be an easy win for them. However, they had to weather some storms along the way, Grant.
Yeah, in terms of competitiveness, it was a lot closer than the final score indicates.
And for the year, this will give them win number 17.
And they meet just twice, so taking the first meeting means a lot to this team.
And even the opposing fans can't deny this was a sensational game for De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, you know, he was a man on a mission in this one. The defense had absolutely no answers for him tonight.
Oh, explosive crossover. How's that for a move?
Fox deciding where to go with it. And it's Miami with a rebound. Now here's Mitchell. Driving inside. Wiggins outside. Clock at 6. Pass to Jaquez. Counted from distance. Fox with the ball. 27 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter. And Fox powers it home.
Impressive job by this team. And you really can't discount the impact of this crowd here.
No, I'd be lying if I said the crowd doesn't have an impact. It's certainly felt from the head coach all the way down.
Andrew Wiggins.
So we see the Spurs taking the W here. We saw two different teams tonight. One played with confidence, operating flawlessly. The other just looked lost.
And the energy in this building was awesome. The crowd was involved from the jump, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see how it all came together.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now.
City, stay in my city, never do play with my city, cause that ain't okay in my city. Flying, babies is mothers is crying, pray for my city. Look how we move, standing on business. All of these shoes, you never gonna miss us. Riding farms with that if I like her, I'm probably gonna. This for the city, this for the ones that ain't make it. Screaming out, we made it, feel we the greatest. Show we nothing to play with and give them a reason to hate it. This for my city, this for my city, this for the town, this for the town, this for the win, this for the win, this for the crown, this for the crown. This for my homies and brothers, they know that I love them, I got them, I'm holding it down. Shorty, you pretty, you come to my city, I promise, I'll show you around. This